I am the color red in a world full of black and white.
Brace for the change, brace for the rage, brace for the wave. I've been going through it. Y'all know the pain, driving insane, deep in your veins. Y'all know how I prove it. Strut through the lanes, gripping the grain. Miles an hour, yeah, miles of fluid. Mask on, asking, why should I do it? Because no one is moving. I came from the swamp, the mud. Algorithm told me I was the plug. Feel for the fiend, you know what I mean. I've been through all of the lesson and hugs, and that is because I've had an all hope who enter here. So listen clear, I made your dreams. Fireflies don't disappear.
Everywhere.
What's up, everybody? We are back for another episode of Fireflies Forever. We are so glad that you're here joining us. Shout out to all of you in the chat, whether you're watching from Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch. We thank you for joining us. And let me bring Chris on screen. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
Doing good. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, man. I hope everybody's doing good. Glad you're doing good, my friend. Trying to keep my voice, so
yeah, you sound like it's right there on the edge.
it's on the edge, and I have a. It's funny because I'm launching a podcast at my job. We're recording the first episode tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily good for me to be
sounding
like this
for you.
Yeah, so it's all good. But thank you all for joining us. We greatly appreciate you being here. Like I said before, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the way because I always forget. So if you don't mind, folks, all of you that are out there watching right now, drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, we would like to welcome you. Thank you for joining us, and hit that subscribe button so you know when we have future content so you can be a part of the family. So as we always do, yeah, I know. Need to get some honey and everything. But as we always do, we start out every episode with memories. And Chris, I'll have you set up what we have for this week.
So I thought since we got our awesome new intro recently from the great Mr. Meta 5, that I would bring back an old memory from years ago of a video that Jodie put together with the help of my daughters Ariana and Harper. And she used a song from Meta 5 in that video, and used a lot of the different props and things that we've accumulated of Bray Wyatt merch in this video. And I thought it was pretty cool what they put together. She may have shared this back when she did it, but if not, it's been a while, so I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it. So I thought it'd be cool to bring this back.
Yeah, we've got a lot of new people, so
yeah,
it's fine. It's fine. So here we go.
Fear is what brings you all together. It is your common bond. But I am not like you. I don't bow down to the feet of fear. I control it. I harness it. Fear lives within my house. Fear, I'm bodying, imposing my will. About time you acknowledge it. Won't grind for the politics, don't grind for a lot of chips. I want you fear. Pennywise with the logic is, I feed off it, indeed off it. Even my mates would say his brain's offset. This guy's lost it. Not from the right strand, on point with nightmares. I'm Freddy's right hand, man. The author of a macabre. I take it farther. Mark Twain of pain. I'm your failure. I'm your misfortune. I'm John Kramer, Southern playing for this torture. I steal horror. That's a different. Get your soul right or I'm snatching whatever's lifting. Thanksgiving king, your heart's getting dimmer. Can't sleep, walk, and the big dinner. This now empty void, but good, old-fashioned fear. For fear is much stronger than any love could ever be. Think about it, man. Terrors appear to me. Please submit willingly or let the babysit this demon. Gotta be kidding me. No heart for the misery. Last part of the imagery. Dark on both sides. Black arts for the symmetry. I've engaged the old sage on a highway to success filled with road rage. You have awoken. Spirit invoked. A slight pinch of death. That's the vote. That's spot. Send you up with my hand cocked. Hit the stage for a movie. I demand props. Not asking for nothing. A short form for discussion. I will spit. See you focus on this concussion. All destruction. All the mayhem. Don't fall. You're the ones that made him. I'm the product of dereliction in my position. The red dot. Dead shot with my precision. What will you do? That one thing that you love so much. That one thing that you cannot live without with is taken from you. Where I see it. I'm doing you a favor, man. So pay close attention, friend. I'm talking to you. I'm the venom, no cures or any serum. Symbiote, I strike fear when they see me out. I am horror, I am outlandish. I direct the thrillers, I'm John Landish. The horrified, personified, and light skin. Beware wolves, coincide with lichens. Great fear, introduction to nemesis. We meet here, my composing is devilish. I'm an MC that you less need. A pure problem, don't confuse with a mixed breed. I am suspense, malice. Plenty hurt possesses his pH balance. You're all victim of his schism. Now I got time to kill. I'm John Grisham. I'm different. I'm legion amongst men. I fear nothing. Living or dead. So I ask you, what makes you smile? Because after what transpires now, I promise it will be hard for you to ever smile again.
Awesome stuff, man. I remember that video.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool.
Yeah. And man, how much have they grown?
Oh, I know. I can't even hardly recognize them. Ari, they were just here and left yesterday, and next month on March 28th, Ari's turning 18. I can't believe I about have an adult child.
Yeah. Man, that's
Makes me
wild.
feel really old.
Yeah, man, that's awesome though. Thank you so much, Chris. It's like I said, I remember when Jodie first did the video, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool. And we showed it on here, and yeah, man, hadn't seen it in a long time. So
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of other things that Jodie enjoyed, artwork, and Chris, you still got a lot. We're getting a lot still.
Sweet.
Thanks.
I got my own collection. I probably got at least 4 or 5 that I'm saving since we got a lot. So
Okay.
yeah,
Awesome.
if we start running out, let me know and I'll send over the ones I've been accumulating.
Okay. We so we had enough for this week, and then I still have like 8 or so left for next week.
Wow.
So yeah, thank you, John Bennett and Jesse, for sending over all the artwork. It's really good stuff. I really don't even have to go through that. I can almost skip this now. All right, so let's start with the first one up. Let me take this thing off screen. There we go. All right. John sent us over a couple cards here.
Oh, I don't have that one. That's pretty cool. I need to try and get that one. Mhm.
Like that.
Yeah.
Black mass design.
Mhm.
There it is, a little bit larger. Black mass is always doing some dope stuff.
Yeah. Wish we could have got more Funhouse episodes with those two.
Yeah, me too. Me too. This one's really cool.
Yeah.
Like this one too, the color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the color's nice.
This one is from Herdy Sketch.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I like how it's got the hurt and heel on the hands.
On
Without
the hands, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
neat.
it's like it's etched into the skin as opposed to just being on the gloves.
Yeah, that's cool.
That is cool.
I like that style. That
Yeah.
would be cool to if they did like a Wyatt Sicks cartoon in that kind of style.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That's neat.
Yeah, that
I
one's
like
pretty
that.
neat.
I like that Lily.
Uh-huh. And Nikki actually posted this one, which I thought
Oh
was
wow,
There it
that's
is, a
really
little bit bigger.
cool. Huh.
Our friend Gabe.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. And great minds think alike, because John Bennett sent me this one again this afternoon.
Like a way more sinister Howdy. Almost has a little bit of the fiend in there around the eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
That's
I really
on the pitch black match.
Yeah. And I really like the smile. Like it's creepy, but I like it.
Yeah. Even made
And
the whole tattoo on his hand glow. That's a cool touch too.
And I will say that we have another piece that's coming probably next week, and is coming from yours truly.
Really?
Yeah, I never do any kind of edits or anything, but I felt inspired, so I did an edit. Been working on it. A couple of people have seen it, but yeah, I got a couple things I want to edit on it before I put it out for public consumption. But yeah, so I got one for next week. So
awesome.
I'm really looking forward to hearing what people think about it. So yeah, should be a lot of fun. But thank you so much to all the artists and everyone who does the edits and everything. Really appreciate it. Whether it's an edit, whether it's something that's hand drawn, the fact that you take time and effort to put something together like this means a lot. So thank you to all the artists. Thank you again to Jesse and John for continuing to send artwork over. We greatly appreciate it. It helps us out so much. So thank you all so much. And apparently we're going to have even more next week, because Chris has some. I've got a little bit more. So Chris, if you want to go ahead and send that over, we'll just use all of it next week.
Okay. Yeah.
From there. All right. So theories and discussion. So obviously we didn't get a Wyatt Sicks appearance on Friday, but we did get we got a glitch. Got a couple glitches. But I wanted to go over this one real quick because you've got all the scrambled letters here, and it spells out, "Do you feel in charge?"
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which I thought was very interesting because while we didn't get a Wyatt Sicks appearance, we did get Miss Bliss with a video package, a pre-recorded promo, and I mean, she said, "I'm in charge."
Yeah.
So let's start there. So, Chris, is Miss Bliss really in charge here?
Mm-hmm. I don't know about that. I did like the touch though, and it was very obvious there was no way that was a coincidence or anything. The wording and everything, that was definitely a response to Uncle Howdy that she sure thinks she is. Now I don't really think so myself, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. But yeah, I think she thinks she is, but
Yeah, I think she thinks she's in charge, but she's not in charge of anything.
yeah,
And I have a feeling she'll find that out.
yeah,
I don't think she is fully thinking this thing through.
yeah.
Clown says Bliss gets abducted either Saturday or Friday by the Six, taking her out of the chamber and replaced by Jay.
Whoa,
Okay,
that would be wild.
let's talk about that. I mean, I will say that I kind of thought that her being in the chamber this quick after return and being one step away from a championship, I thought it was quick.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was quick and then you do something like that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do want to see her in the chamber because of what John Bennett said here. Turning it into a horror chamber, I would love to see that.
Yeah.
But if they went the other way, that would be interesting too, because that would mean that we're getting something pretty soon.
Yeah, I thought it was weird too because it's obvious that there's something brewing with her and the Wyatt Sicks. I mean, we're seeing the glitches and the responses of them on Twitter and stuff. So there's definitely something there. So it is weird to have her in a potential title picture situation. Now, obviously, I know 5 people in the chamber aren't going to be there, but still, even to put her in there, I did think was weird. So there could be something to that. Maybe she doesn't make it, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't. There's so many different things that they can do. I feel selfishly, I kind of want them to allow her to be in the chamber so we can see some craziness in the chamber.
Yeah, that would be really cool. I mean, yeah, there's so many possibilities they could do. I mean, the lights could go out, she could do something, and yeah, there's all kinds of cool stuff they could do. And she even referenced that she was going to make it hell for everyone else in the chamber.
Yeah, and we're all for that, right?
Yeah,
I'm good with that.
Definitely excited to see something happen.
Yeah, I think that's where all of us are at this point. It's at the point of we want to see him. It's not about. I don't think the majority of folks are pissed. I think people are just impatient right now.
Yeah. It's like a faucet on a very slow drip right now.
Yeah. Very, very slow drip.
Yeah.
Very slow drip. I mean, we are getting things, and I think C Wrestling mentioned this in his video, but on the international broadcast, they mentioned the Wyatt Sicks.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so they mentioned, what will they have in store for her? I think something to that effect. So
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I think there's potential for this week, either Friday or at the chamber, especially given that she was talking about referencing the chamber match in this promo where she said that she's in charge and stuff. So could tie into the chamber. It could mean something's going to happen at the chamber, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, let me go here, because this is why I'm really excited about the chamber. This looks like a happy person.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much beneath that smile.
Yes.
So let's talk about that real quick. I mean, when she says that she's going to bring hell to everybody else in the elimination chamber, what do you think we can see? And we want class participation. So tell us what you think. What she means when she says that. What type of carnage can she bring to the elimination chamber?
She could definitely bring a lot. Like, the interesting thing I think about all this, even from her when she came back at the Rumble, like, it's kind of weird. Like, she's got the smiles and still has the same personality that she did, when she was just Little Miss Bliss or whatever. But yet she's got the look and the appearance and the things she's wearing of the darker Alexa. So I almost wonder if she's kind of riding that line between the two, and that she could kind of flip at any moment. And we've seen that before. I think it was a match with Nikki Cross years ago where she kind of like flipped mid-match and went from like being Dark Alexa back to regular Alexa. So I think we could see some of that kind of stuff come into play. Or maybe she's flipped personalities in during the match at some point, and we see some of both sides of her.
Yeah, I think so. Gabe, hopefully, Gabe, we showed a little bit more of your art, man. Awesome work as always. Great stuff. Gabe says Nikki Cross would get involved during the match to cost Alexa the opportunity.
That would definitely be interesting to see.
It would be. Odin's son, I don't think she's in charge. It's like toward the end, Howdy was trying to get her, like she has the ability to fight Howdy's control. Imagine Alexa as the final girl, always able to outwit the villain. See, I'm starting to think Odin's son to that point. What if she's just another villain?
Yeah.
Maybe she's not the final girl. Maybe she's another villain.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just get the feeling that they're gonna make her a huge part of it. I mean, obviously she was going to be a part of it, but I'm thinking really having her begin to become fiendish, as who said that? John said that. I think that's what might happen. So
I would like. We've talked about that before. I would, if they do it right. I think that could be really cool, and I would like to see it.
Yeah,
as long as they, don't go too crazy with it and pay the proper respects to Bray in it. I think that could be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it could be really, really cool. And this isn't the exact glitch that we got on Friday, but I tried to find the screenshot. I couldn't find it, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. But we got a 6. It was like an old countdown screen, and we got a 6. So I think that's letting us know that they're watching.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I mean, we knew that they were watching, but for anybody that had doubts, I think it confirmed everything. So
yeah, they're making it obvious. Yeah, that they've got their eye on her. They're aware of her presence and things. So that's what I think we're kind of waiting to see is when do they make their move and what move do they make?
Yeah. I mean, well, let's go there, Chris. what do you think they do? And let me do it two parts. Do you think it happens this week? Or do you think we're still a little bit away, and what happens?
That's so hard to answer that question. I think it's definitely possible it could happen this week. With as slow as things have been happening, I kind of tend to not think that because it would be a drastic shift, but maybe that's what they want to do. So I don't know. I don't really want to say one way or the other because we've all been down that road enough recently to where we think something's going to happen and nothing happens. So
Let me ask you in this way: what would you like to see happen?
I would definitely like to see. I think overall, the most I would think I would want to see is some kind of an interaction between her and Nikki Cross, whether it Nikki attacking her in the chamber or abducting her before or during the chamber, something like that. I think is what I would want to see the most.
Yeah, I just really want to see them get her in the chamber.
Yeah.
It would be really cool, in my opinion. Let's say she's one of the last ones and she gets pinned. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden lights go out and they show up inside that chamber. All right, dude, I was trying, but yeah, you can go kick rocks. Yeah. Your lame ass sources that must have told you wrong last week.
I like how he backed up on that. Oh, I didn't mean that was going to happen. That's just what I was told. But
I mean, it's like, okay, you say you got inside knowledge, and that's cool. I already knew what you were going to say before we even set up the stream for this week. Yeah. I knew you were going to say, well, it got cut because of The Rock and Cody.
Yeah.
And that's probably true. I'm not going to deny that. However, if you're going to say something with your chest, let me come on screen so I can say it. If you're going to say something with your chest, when you get it wrong, be willing to get a little grief about
exactly. I feel like that's a lost art nowadays. No one ever will admit when they're wrong. Like, swallow that pride and admit, it's a big deal. Like, we're all wrong all the time. Like, that drives me crazy when people make statements and just refuse to ever admit that they were wrong. It's like, just own up to it.
Yeah, I mean, there have been many times when I've been like, I really want this to happen on TNA, and I'll fantasy book it, and it never happens. Or I'll say something's going to happen, and it happens 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I own up to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think anybody was unnecessarily rude. They just wanted to. They were like, "Hey, you said this last week. What happened?"
Yeah.
So, is she here? Stop the doomsday stuff, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop the doomsday stuff.
They will show up eventually. I mean, obviously, we know that Bo's hurt. That is a huge factor in this, guaranteed. That Bo's dealing with an injury like that. Unfortunately, that's gonna affect things. It sucks. Believe me more than anybody wish he wasn't injured because I missed out on getting to meet him at my meet and greet because he was injured. Like, I got to meet the rest of them, but not him. It sucks. He was the one I wanted to meet the most, but it is what it is. Shit happens. Wrestlers get injured and plans have to change, but we know that they will come back once he's able to. They'll be back. They're not gonna. I don't see them cutting them or anything like that. Like, they were very popular when they got going. Their merch sells well. Like, I just don't see that happening at all.
All right, so the F Around and Find Out award for today goes to this dude, because we all know that you're the same guy that just got blocked on YouTube. So here's what I'm going to say. Thank you for the views, because now not only did you give us a view on YouTube, but you gave us one on Facebook.
Nice.
I appreciate that. That's dope, brother. I really do appreciate that. My patience for folks like you is really growing because it's all good. Hey, you can say whatever you want to say, and I can still do.
If you don't
this
like it,
to
don't
you.
watch.
You went through all that trouble to get blocked twice. So here's what I'm going to tell you. If you show up from X or Twitch, I know you got a problem.
Yeah. You're obsessed with us.
I mean, we appreciate it. We appreciate the views.
Times like this, I wish Jodie was here because I know she'd have something great to say.
Oh, she would.
She loves people like that.
Oh man, and I do too. But I'm trying my best. I'm really trying my best to be nice. Like I was joking around before, but apparently whoever Odin's son, we appreciate the super chat, man.
Thank you, Odin's son.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hey, yeah, thank you. We appreciate that. Like I was just joking around, Chris, like because he started saying you're blocked and you're blocked. And it's okay. You said you didn't get it wrong. Okay, you didn't get it wrong. Did they show up last week? Because
I really remember you saying they're going to show up on Friday.
I'm pretty sure there was a guarantee.
Yeah.
With that, I
Yeah.
And you called us stupid in some ways because we didn't completely run with your idea.
And yet all the stuff that we're talking about, we clearly label as theories and things that we would like to see happen, maybe even could happen, but still maybe.
Yeah.
These are theories for a reason. None of us work for WWE and know what's going to happen.
No, theories. And listen, this is our show. We can speculate on whatever and have fun and be outlandish with
that. We've been wrong many times and said that we've been wrong many times about what we thought was going to happen.
Yes, many times. That's just a part of it. Like that's just a part of life.
Yeah, exactly.
if you can't accept when you're wrong, you're gonna have some trouble.
Yeah. Shout out to all you guys in the chat, though. You guys are awesome. I love it.
Yep, y'all. I don't even have to say anything. I mean, I don't even have to say anything. But if you do that from another platform, then I know you got issues.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pray for you because it's clear that something's going on that you can't take a joke from people. So let's keep going because I don't have time for that. Anyway, oh man, this is so funny. But Chris, what's not a lame ass theory about what's coming next?
I don't know. I still get the vibe that they want to make her suffer pay for the past. I mean, they've referenced the past several times and brought up, things that happened with her and Bray and stuff previously. So I still really think that that's going to happen at some point. We've talked about the different ways that could happen, but I think something is going to happen to her at some point to have some retribution for the past. I think that they could move on beyond that, and maybe down the road she could end up joining them. It's definitely going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's Jimmy, thank you for the super chat as well. Jimmy says they got one last chance to get this right. They came in hot and then Hunter just stopped using them. I know Bo is hurt, but keeping them off TV this long is not helping. I care, but at what point do the masses stop caring? So, yeah, go ahead, Chris.
I think they do need to make a big impact when they do come back, and we've talked about that. Maybe even something similar to what they did initially with that massacre and Chad Gable. I would love to see them come back and do something like that. Maybe not that exactly, but just something that's like a big wow moment. I think that would be hugely beneficial to them, and I do hope. I think kidnapping Alexa could be that big wow moment that needs to happen. Something like that for sure. But I mean, if you've been a fan of Bray, I mean, you've been through this before. Bray had instances like this and stuff, and I just don't understand if he's not back in such and such time, then it's over or something. Like, I don't know. I just don't get that. I'm been a lifelong fan of his ever since he started, and never once did I waver on that at any time when he wasn't on TV, even when he let go from the company. It's just we got to stick it out. I mean, that's what's going to be the important thing to Hunter and for them to see is that no matter what, people are still sticking with them and still fans and still want to see them back. Of course, some people are going to stop caring, but in my opinion, anybody that stops caring wasn't really a fan of them in the first place.
And I mean, I think to that point, I don't necessarily know that all of this is for the masses.
Mm-hmm.
I think some storylines definitely appeal to the masses, and I think some storylines just don't. They appeal to a core. That may be the case here because I think a lot of people, fair or foul, but I understand this. I think a lot of people still have trouble watching the Wyatt Sicks or anything from that universe because they miss Bray so much.
Yeah.
And it's tough to I think it's tough for some people still.
Yeah.
Jimmy, thank you again for the super chat saying, do you think them coming back as diabolical heels is the way to go? Would this make a bigger impact?
Maybe. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see that.
So let me go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
Maybe that's the angle. If they turn heel and come back as heels, maybe they don't go after Alexa. Maybe they just join up with her then and decide, let's just go wreck everybody. I think that's an angle too. That would make a big impact, I feel like.
I agree. And I think with that being said, what I want to see happen, and we really need a lot of participation from the chat for this, okay? I want you all to book their return. We're giving you the pencil, not in real life. So whatever you book doesn't mean it's going to happen. This is fun. So if you want to throw out a lame theory, have fun. But how would you book them coming back? We're giving you the pencil. We want to read some of these comments.
Yeah. Something else I think to keep in mind too, and that I've thought of is, I thought, well, just because Bo is injured, why couldn't they have the rest of them on TV doing something, or why couldn't we be getting videos or vignettes or something? It's like, well, they must have a good reason for that. Maybe that would ruin whatever story they have cooked up that that's about to happen. If they would have had some of them on, but not Bo or something. So, we don't know. So I think we need to keep stuff like that in mind too. That if they're off TV, then they must have a good reason for them being off TV. And we even saw a tweet recently from crap, what's the creative guy's name? drawing a blank right now that works with them on their stories.
Rob,
Rob Fee. Yeah, totally dribbling. We even saw a tweet with him about being patient. Like they know what they're doing. They've got a story ready that they want to tell, and they're just waiting for the right time to do it. I'm sure once they come back and we see whatever it is, maybe it'll click and be like, oh well, that's why they weren't on TV or whatever, or that's why they haven't done anything recently.
Yeah, I think too, Chris. I was actually talking to Derek about this earlier today. And this is one of the cases where I think as fans, if we didn't have the knowledge as fans, kind of like it used to be back in the day,
Yep.
when we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Maybe it would be a little well, let me back up and let me ask you that. If it was the way that it was back in the day, do you think people would have more of a problem, or do you think people would be okay if it was understood that this is just how the business works?
I mean, I think it would be better that way. I mean, I always liked it better that way. And if back in the day, if somebody was off TV and there wasn't any kind of internet or rumors or anything like that, you didn't even, you kind of would just not even think about it. Like, you just keep watching the product, and then it would be awesome when they returned or whatever out of the blue. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. Like, oh cool, they're back. Stuff like that. But yeah, we've talked about that plenty. Like, the internet, I feel like really has ruined some things in wrestling. And that's a big one of them.
Yeah, because again, I think we all, if we're watching this show right now, and you're keeping up with what happens in this storyline week to week, you're a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, given the fact that we just haven't seen them in some capacity in quite a while, I think that lends itself to people having those thoughts that I said to Ishii, kind of pump your brakes on the doomsday stuff, because I don't think I will say this, anything can happen. Don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
And again, we've been wrong about these things before.
Yeah.
And we've admitted that we've been wrong. I don't think that they would put the effort or even the breath behind mentioning them. Adding things to the WWE shop, having different glitches in Alexa Bliss's promo, because I think if they were going to be gone,
having them tweet about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I just think sometimes we got to pump brakes.
Yeah.
It's hard to be patient.
Oh, yeah.
Lord knows I get it.
Just remember something we've talked about on here before. If you didn't get to watch anything during that era, go back and watch some of it, like WCW Sting. Just remember that.
Yes. Where the Joker didn't talk for like 18 months or something like that.
Yeah.
I understand, Ishii, and I think all of us feel that way. way.
Yeah.
We want them back. We want them back on our TV because we enjoyed the storyline. So, Clown says Bliss gets abducted. We see her atone for her sins, show back up in time for Mania.
I think the important thing to remember with that is, yes, we all miss them. We all want to see them back desperately. I love seeing the stuff that they were doing. I hate that the story got interrupted. But more than anything, I want them to tell the story that they want to tell. I want them to do the things that they want to do. And so I try to remember that trumps my personal feelings about the situation.
I think so. Deanna saying, in comparison to Karrion Kross right now, everything he's doing is making sense. to what he's been saying for months. Now the story is making sense. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy saying, I second what Ishii said. If I got the pencil, then they go after Hunter backstage so he don't have to take any bumps. Then take Aldis and Pierce.
I love that idea.
Hey, no, I like that.
Imagine if they did that and kind of took over the broadcast and like made it Wyatt TV or something like that.
Yeah. That would be hilarious. Here's the question though. If they do that, Jimmy and Chad and Chris, if they do that, do we get an appearance, a reemergence of Postman Pierce?
Oh, we have to.
I just feel like we need to. And here's what's really fun. What would they do with Nick Aldis?
Be cool if they created a character for him.
Yeah. That would be cool. Let's see here. Is she saying, imagine Uncle Howdy comes back darker. He changes his name to Uncle Fiend. Wow.
I'd love to see that, a darker version of Howdy. Maybe even a cross between Howdy and the Fiend. That could be very cool.
Be interesting, sure. Jesse saying, I remember when people would complain that WWE wasn't using Bray and he was ruined and was going to get fired. And then so many thought he was off the show for the broken finger, only to find out that he had COVID that affected his heart, ultimately killed him. We have heard it was an injury for Bo, but we really don't know, and people need to stop complaining. He'll be back when he's able. They wouldn't drop the hints they do if they didn't care. And Jesse, you didn't have to spell out remember the whole way. I was picking up what you were putting down. I thought you were just being cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were just being cool, so it's all good.
Yeah, great points, Jesse.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Have them be presented like how the Nexus was, or a successful version of Retribution. So this would be a good way to get Aldis back in the ring. Then just target bigger fish like Cena and Punk. I would love to see Aldis back in the ring one last time.
Yeah.
I would love to see it. Because he was so very talented as a wrestler. So
okay, imagine, I just thought of that. Imagine that scenario right there. So they come back and just this badass heel faction that go around trying to take over WWE and attack all these big names and stuff. What if it almost turns into a story of like those guys, Cena, Punk, people like that, having to band together to come against the Wyatt Sicks, almost like an Avengers kind of thing against the Wyatt Sicks? That could be a really cool idea.
Yeah, really cool. Deanna saying Survivor Series, Pierce versus Aldis' team.
That would be cool. Kind of old school Survivor Series vibe.
All right. The last few minutes, since you did that, Deanna, let's put the Wyatt Sicks on a team. You can pull any WWE superstar, NXT included. Who are the Wyatt Sicks going up against that Survivor Series? Let me know in chat. And Chris, if you've got a team, or if you want to talk through a team, let me hear what you got.
Yeah, that leaves a lot of possibilities, especially if you factor in NXT. Well, that technically now you could factor anybody from TNA also.
Very true. Very true. Throw that in there too.
I think Sami Callihan would be a cool one, though, against the Wyatt Sicks.
I agree. I think he would be awesome. Can you imagine just him trying to play mind games with them and them just upping the ante every single time?
The
Clown
system
said,
would be a cool choice.
oh, just so I can see him beat down the system.
Yeah.
I'd love that. Lish against Nikki Cross would be hilarious. Because I think Lish would run away.
Oh, yeah.
I think Lish would just run away. Clown saying Aleister Black, Braun, Rosemary, Cena, and Mance Warner. That's
Rosemary versus Nikki would be a really cool matchup.
give me that.
Yeah.
Give me that matchup. If that ever happens, I'm pretty sure Joe would pass out.
Yeah.
And what would be hilarious is if in that match we got a spider walk, but it wasn't from Nikki.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know how much he loves Rosemary. So Jimmy saying Sammy is a good call, Chris. Is she saying Righteous versus Wyatt Sicks? Odin's son saying Miz, DIY, Cross, Scarlet, Poison Pixie versus the Six in an intergender match. Well, that's the thing, Jesse. Just have fun with it. Make your own faction. You've got the pencil.
That's
just
right.
put it together. Just tell her. Deanna saying Seth, Drew, Hardy Boys, Tatum Paxley, and Rosemary.
I'd really like that if the Hardy Boys was Broken Matt and Willow.
Yeah. I want to go back to a comment that Jimmy had, Chris, because I thought it was an interesting question here. Are you guys opposed to Howdy losing the mask and fake white hair and just let his face be seen with maybe a little bit of makeup? I don't find the Howdy mask that imposing, at least in ring.
I like the Howdy mask, but I also think that could work too with a cool, some cool makeup. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, I think it's all in how you do it.
Especially since the rest of them take their masks off to wrestle anyway. Or maybe even it does that. He comes out in the mask and then takes it off like the rest of them do. I wouldn't have any problem with that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it all depends on how you approach it. I think all of us being interested in this, we just want the story to make sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So if they tie it together and make it make sense, I think I think most people would be on board with that. Because like Chris said, it kind of falls in line with what everyone else in the group is doing. So
our truth playing the glass.
I saw that. And I was just about,
I hope it someday we get some kind of a segment with our truth on the Wyatt Sicks. We need it. That would be so great.
Yeah, our truth involved with them in any way would be absolutely.
He tries to get little Jimmy to join the Wyatt Sicks.
Man, that would be hilarious. Oh. Sorry, I just got something from work, so sorry about that. That would be Deanna saying R-Truth had his own team, Little Jimmy, John Cena, we never see. Odin's son saying mask without the hair or go full horror effects.
If they go that route, I'd like to see them go back and use the Howdy mask that Bray used to wear that didn't have the hair on it. That would be cool.
Yeah. Clown saying Little Jimmy is already a member. We just can't see him. I had not heard that issue, but I heard
Boogeyman. He tweeted that the other day. It said one more run. Boogeyman did. Okay. I always love the Boogeyman. I'd love to see him come back for one more run.
Yeah, it would be a lot of fun. It would, and having him interact with those two, that group.
You remember that? I don't remember what year's Rumble it was, where it was only Bray left in the ring, and then Boogeyman came out, and they interacted with each other for a couple minutes.
Yeah,
That
I
was
remember
great.
that. That was
That
awesome.
was so awesome.
Yeah. JA21 from Twitch saying, do you think Alexa channels the Fiend at some point? Like wears the mask and takes leadership of the Wyatt Sicks? I have
I
thoughts
think it's
about
possible. I think that's a female Fiend is possible and could be cool.
it. I think dependent upon how long Bo is out,
Mm-hmm.
I could definitely see a scenario where in the interim she takes leadership
Mm-hmm.
and she's controlling everyone. And then when Howdy gets back, we got a battle.
Yeah.
And it could be that one group, you might have 2 or 3 that are Team Howdy, and then you might have a couple that are Team Alexa. I think you brought that up before,
Mm-hmm.
Chris, but I do think that happens, just not for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
Is she saying have Boogeyman be the manager?
That could be cool.
I just want to see him as a part of the group.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Shatter playing? And the Boogeyman comes down, smashes the clock, and does his little dance while Shatter. That would be wild. That would be a wild thing to see. I would love to see it.
I like Odin's son comment.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that? Did you see it?
No.
You did. Okay,
it actually happened. Oh, I thought he was saying that would be cool.
No, it actually happened. I'll find the video on social and send it to you. But yeah, it was yeah.
I'm just asking you something.
Deanna saying she's the only person I could see doing it with the right story. Yes. Yeah, I agree. All right, Chris. So we're gonna wrap up this week's episode. If you could, kind sir, please leave us with some final thoughts before we head out.
Yeah, I think as Jodie used to say, we all just got to have patience. I know it's hard sometimes, but we know stuff's going to happen. We're getting that little drip each week now. I think pretty soon that drip's going to turn into a stream, and we're going to start seeing more and more, and eventually to them coming back. I mean, that's just inevitable. They will be back at some point. And, maybe maybe the way they're doing this is setting them up to have a big moment at Mania. That's a big possibility. And I think we'd all love to see that. They haven't had a moment on a PLE yet. So maybe that's what this is set up. We just don't know. So I'm sure we would all look back, and if we got a moment of them at Mania, and we would all look back and say, well, that time them off TV was worth it to get that. So
yeah, I think so too. Chris, this is fun as always, man.
Mm-hmm.
The hour seems to fly by pretty quick.
Yeah.
It tends to
Today's one was definitely interesting.
It was.
Lots of excitement today.
Lots.
Shout out to all you guys in the chat for sticking with us and not being a hater.
Yeah. So on that note, I'm going to bring it up again. Drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. We are glad that you stopped by to join us. My apologies for a little bit earlier, but things had to be said. So we will be back here on Thursday for TNA. This Moose Obafemi thing.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Cannot wait to see those two guys in a ring going head to head.
I heard a rumor that someone, I don't know if this is true or not, that someone was saying that both titles are going to be on the line in that.
I would love it.
Yeah, I would too.
I would love it.
I want to see somebody win one from the opposite company, so that would guarantee it. barring shenanigans, of course.
Barring shenanigans, exactly. Exactly.
So,
And how do you do it if you do get shenanigans? What happens with the belts? How do you do that? Does everybody just keep their titles, or
I would
we
imagine
get something funky there too?
The belts would just stay.
I know that we are just getting introduced to the Obafemi and Moose program, but at some point, if they do have a match in TNA, NXT, TNA, I need you guys to agree on having these two do a Monsters Ball match. Please and thank you. That's it.
That would be cool to see.
That would be cool. Deanna's saying she could see a Mania story night 1.
Yeah, definitely. That seems like a great place for them.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to get out of here, but thank you all so much for joining us this week. We greatly appreciate it. Hopefully we get something this week, but if we don't, we'll still be back here next week and we'll have fun. We'll throw out what some people think are lame theories.
Our lame theories.
Yeah, we'll throw them out and have fun with them, and you can throw out your lame theories too, and we'll have fun with them because this is a lot of fun to talk about. And I know that we haven't gotten anything lately, and I get that it's disappointing, but I think talking about it and just keeping the creativity going, and sometimes it draws you back into the very beginning, and maybe you start to look at things the next time that they're on screen a little bit deeper, and you start to dive a little bit deeper. So that's my hope for conversations like this. And yeah. So, all right. You guys are awesome. We greatly appreciate you stopping by. Chris, man, fun as always.
Yep.
We'll have to do this thing again next week.
Sounds good.
All right. Take care, everyone. And we will see you on Thursday. But if not, we'll see you again for the next episode of Fireflies Forever. Take care.
I'm the color red in a world full of black and white.
Brace for the change, brace for the rage, brace for the wave. I've been going through it. Y'all know the pain, drive them insane, deep in your veins. Y'all know how I prove it. Strut through the lanes, gripping the grain. Miles an hour, yeah, miles of fluid. Mask on, asking, why should I do it? Because no one is moving. I came from the swamp, the mud. Algorithm told me I was the plug. Feel for the fiend, you know what I mean. I've been through all of the lesson and hugs, and that is because I've abandoned all hope who enter here. So listen clear, I made your dreams. Fireflies don't disappear.